Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday, the 28th of August 2025. In today's Mill news, it has come to pass, it has been confirmed, signed, sealed and delivered. Japhet Tangangas has left Millwall and gone to Sheffield United. And this is the confirmation from millfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Millwall Football Club can confirm Japhet Tangangas has completed a permanent transfer to Sheffield United. The central defender, who signed on a permanent basis with the Lions last summer following a successful loan spell, joins the Blades for an undisclosed fee. Japhet made 18 appearances across the second half of the 23-24 campaign whilst on loan, scoring twice before completing his move across London from Spurs. Tanganga played 40 times for the club in 24-25, helping the Lions towards a late surge up the Sky Bet Championship table, also chipping in with two further goals, the winner against Leeds United at the Den and a header at Oxford United. The club would like to place on record its thanks to Japhet for his outstanding efforts whilst a Lion. Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Tanganga. Goodbye and good luck, except for, when you're playing against us. Obviously, one more game to go. The home game. Maybe more than that. Could be playoffs, if they get their act together and they stop being shit. Which you imagine now that they signed Tanganga, they do that. But a replacement may already be in the works and could even be announced tomorrow, maybe. But we have this, so it's mentioned by southernnews.co.uk. So you imagine, if they say it, they probably know what's going on and they've been told they're allowed to say it. Mill close to deal for Caleb Taylor. And there he is there. Is he a giant of a man? No, I think he's just in the foreground and they're in the background. I don't think he's like 8 foot tall. Mill are close to securing the signature of West Brom Albion centre-back Caleb Taylor. News that then understands. The two clubs have agreed to a move. So the fee's been agreed between us and them. And their 22-year-old centre-back is set to undergo a medical at the club. So you would imagine if he passes that, we're all guns a go. Taylor spent the majority of last season on loan at League One side Wycombe Wanderers, making 39 appearances in all competitions. And now I believe they made the playoffs, did they not? Taylor first joined the Baggies at under 10s level. Good. And progressed through the academy before making his first team debut in a 6-0 defeat to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup second round on August 25th, 2021. Some debut that, eh? He spent the 22-23 season on loan at Cheltenham Town in League One, making 49 appearances in all competitions, scoring 2 goals. A loan spell at Bolton Wanderers the following February followed, where he would make 7 appearances for the Trotters. Taylor made 12 appearances in all competitions for West Brom. So, there you go. How's that? Not out. So this still seems to be moving on. Is he ready to go right now? Maybe not, but maybe one for the future. Now we got this from Mill's X page, x.com account, whatever you call it. The game's sold out. It's Thursday today, and when was this posted? Did we get a timestamp on this? 4 hours ago. So what that would have been, about 7 o'clock in the evening? Millwall versus Wrexham on Saturday. Sold out. Tickets all gone. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So, if you haven't got a ticket, if you were going to go down there on the day and get a ticket, well, too late now. Too late now. So there you go. Get ready for that. Now, Mill have made a signing today. Mentioned the other day. It's been confirmed today. Mill will complete the signing of Joel Coleman, who goalkeeping coach Dean Thornton says fits the role we were searching for. Millwall have completed the signing of goalkeeper Joel Coleman on a free transfer. The 29-year-old has signed a one-year deal with the club. News that then understands the shot stopper has been brought in as cover at the position, allowing George Evans to go out on loan. So that's interesting. I wonder where he's going to go out on loan to. The Lions have already signed keepers Stephen Bender and Max Crocombe this summer, with the former starting every league game so far and the latter starting every cup game. Coleman has spent the last 2 seasons at League One side Bolton Wanderers, making 15 appearances in all competitions, so that's over 2 years. That's not a lot, so he's clearly a backup goalkeeper there. Millwall's goalkeeping coach Dean Thornton told the club's website, I've been looking for someone to fit the role we were searching for a while now, and Joel fits the bill. He can come into the senior group and also help out the young ones to go out on loan and get valuable game time playing men's football. Joel's played at every level, from the Premier League to League Two, and he's also been involved in the Championship playoff final, so his experience is what we're looking for him as well, and as the goalkeeper coach, I've seen at previous clubs how undervalued the role that Joel has come into can be. He can come into training, drive standards, as well as supporting Max and Stephen, but also he brings some excitement to sessions and will keep the goalkeeping unit working really well. Born in Bolton, he came through Oldham Athletics Academy, signing his first professional deal in 2014 and making his first team debut in 2015. Coleman signed for Huddersfield Town in 2016, spending the next 4 seasons on the Terriers' books while spending the 2018-19 season on loan at Shrewsbury Town in League One. Stints at Fleetwood Town, Rochdale and Ipswich Town followed before he signed for the Trotters in 2023. So there you go. And we're going to take a look because we've got some pictures from the official site. He's got a beard and a bald head. What a combination. Yeah, basically the information that we've already seen. He's going to be wearing, looks like he's wearing the number 43. 43. Bingo. Yep. So there you go. All smiles. Why not? There you go, fierce, looking fierce. There you go. Yep. Now, moving on to this interesting stuff. I already told you about one of these, Danny Kelly. Obviously, Max Crocombe, that was announced a while ago. 4 of Millwall's squad have been called up for international duty in September. This is from millfc.co.uk. In addition to Max Crocombe, who will represent New Zealand in the Soccer Ashes, which we mentioned before, which is a 2-legged game between New Zealand and Australia, Mihailo Ivanovic, Dan Kelly and Elias Mansour will also represent their nations during the break. Ivanovic will line up for Serbia's under-21s in a friendly against France. All they have is friendlies. They're hosting the next tournament, so all they have are friendlies. But they still need to get going because they want to do well in the tournament. So I don't know where that game's going to be. Is it going to be in Serbia? Is it going to be in France? Don't know. Whilst midfielder Kelly will look for more Scotland under-21 caps as they take on Czechia away and Portugal at home in European under-21 Championship qualifiers. Now this is interesting. Mansour, who is an under-21 player by the way, but he's been called up for the Afghanistan national squad, the main team, not under-21s, the main team, where he will proudly represent his nation in the CAF Nations Cup. And they play Iran, Tajikistan, and India in Group B. So there you go. And obviously we've got the pictures that he took during Picture Day. Good stuff. They're missing Crocombe, but obviously that was already announced. Now, more on the Afghanistan. What the fuck is that about? CAF Nations Cup. This is a sub-confederation. This is from Asia. Obviously, the Asian Federation. I believe it's called the AFC, because the one in Africa is called the CAF, because it's in French. So the AFC is a massive confederation that goes from, where does it go from? From like Lebanon in the west all the way over to Japan in the east. It is a vast amount of teams that play in that, and they all kind of, so historically they only got about 4.5 or 5 places in the World Cup. Now they've expanded the World Cup. They got a lot more places, or a few more. But it's interesting to see. Will that mean that that massive chunk of Asian thing breaks up? Will it split up into Middle East, North Africa? I don't think so, because I think they benefit from playing, the shitter teams. The likes of the Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. They benefit from having to qualify against the lesser sub-Saharan teams and whatnot. But we could see this could be a move, because this has only been going for 10 years. This, what is it called? CAFA. It's Central Asian Football Association. If we pour it up here, so you can see these are the countries that are a part of that. Iran, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. I think I got that right. Did I miss one? What's the little one in the middle? One of the stands. Something. Oh, one of the stands. Interestingly, no Pakistan. Ooh. One invited, eh? So this is the second time they've hosted a tournament, but this has been going for 10 years. In April, they announced this competition in September. So literally in April they said, hey, why don't we do a competition? Oh, when are we going to do it? How about in September? Why not? And then in June, they announced where the hell it's going to be. Literally in June, they announced where the competition, which is going to be taking place, a couple of months later, is going to be. Madness, but it's a mini tournament. It's not that big, and because of that, in July, Malaysia were a guest team, because it's so small, they have to bring in guest teams to make up the numbers. Which this year are Malaysia and Oman. Malaysia have withdrawn. So they've replaced them with India. Now, these are the countries that are taking part in this year. And you can see Afghanistan, they're the worst team in it, according to the FIFA rankings. So FIFA rankings, but from April, that's a while ago, they're ranked 160. And they're the worst team in it. Turkmenistan are 142. The best team in it, Iran, they won it last time out. So, guess who Afghanistan play in their first game? They play Iran. That should be fun. So if we go down, in fact, the game is taking place tomorrow. This is local time, 5 o'clock. So I believe that's 1 o'clock normal time, as in great English time, British time. That's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So literally tomorrow afternoon, Iran versus Afghanistan. And will Mansour playing that? Don't know. But if he does, guess who's going to let you know? Me. I'll let you know. I will find out somehow, even though I don't think it's being televised. I think the Indian games are being televised. If you go down, it says, so look, television. Literally, they're not showing it. Except for India, they have fan code. Now, here's the thing. In this day and age, if a football game is played and it isn't televised, did it really happen? I don't know. But yeah. So we could be having our first Afghanistan international player playing for Millwall. And he's an under-21 player at the moment. Fantastic stuff. Amazing. Utterly amazing, isn't it? Now, we've still got some post-match comments. Something is really dragging them out. I probably didn't expect all the signing news to happen this week, but... So this is from southernnews.co.uk. He did great. Alex Neil gives assessment of Millwall forwards debut, and that's the forward in the middle there, Jack Howland. Alex Neil gave his assessment of under-21s for Jack Howland's first team debut against Coventry City on August the 26th, saying he thought he did great. Howland, 19, was named in the starting 11 to face the Sky Blues in the Carabao Cup second round and played the entire 90 minutes as the Lions won 2-1 to progress to the third round. I thought it did great. I think the difficulty Jack is going to have is the fact that obviously he's got guys like Camille ahead of him, but his responsibility and job is to make sure that he shows that development and he shows that he understands what we're trying to do. I thought his technical ability, you could see on the ball, he's brilliant in tight spaces. He's got a great left foot and he can roll away from people. So I was really pleased with his performance. Howland was one of several under-21 players on the pitch by the final whistle, and Neil was pleased to have so many involved. You've got Kamal Gallant in there, you've got young Danny Kelly, who I've been waiting on, getting fit for a long time. I thought he was excellent. Loads and loads of plus points today for us today in terms of all those performances. We managed to get AJ on for his debut. Well, a proper debut at least. He played 30 minutes today rather than just a couple of like he did in the other game. He had Sheldon on the pitch as well, and he's got some minutes into his legs, and Adam Mayer on the pitch. So there's loads to be happy about for sure. So there you go. More post-match comments. Now, I got to tell you about West Kingsdown. It is really, really, really going some. It's picking up speed. It's gathering pace. It's pushing forward. We are moving on. So this is from Sevenoaks District Council.gov.uk. It's the planning and applications. And you can see here. Condition 11, Condition 12, Condition 7, Condition 9, Condition 5, they're all awaiting decision. 9 and 5, they've been there for a while, but these new ones have just popped up this week, and they really are going some at it, they're getting into it. So let's get into it ourselves. This is up first. What's this? Oh yeah, this is the ecological thing. Now, the thing with the environmental management plan and the water irrigation thing, they put them in. That was the first little problem they had. Because they said, when they consulted the Kent County Council, they said, well, we need more information. Like, you're missing this, you're missing that. We need some clarification on this, etc., etc. And they did that on those two. So it's interesting, that's the first time where we've had them say, "Oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here?" But I think they're just asking for more information. So we've got this now. So it looks like they have been given more information, and then they've responded again. That's the condition that they have to meet, Condition 5, which is basically, you got to look after the animals, don't you, people? We've got to look after the animals. So the approved scent will be adhered to. Yep. We advise that separate comments on dormouse will be provided as part of the discharge on Condition 6. So again, with the dormouse, they got to look after the dormouse. One thing they said is, because the application was in 2023, we're now 2 years later now, you need to go round and have another look to see if there's any new animals that have gone there. And they said, well, we did raise concerns regarding badgers, and if the proposed mitigation is still appropriate, as if a badger set and established within the site boundary, the information would be incorrect, as additional mitigation measures would be required. An updated SEMP has not been provided. However, the applicant has confirmed that a site survey was carried out to inform the dormouse mitigation strategy. That survey confirmed that no badger set has established within the site as such, and we are satisfied that the badger mitigation within the SEMP is appropriate. But here's the thing with the dormice. So we highlight that no works can commence on site until the dormice mitigation strategy has been submitted and discharged, and an EPS license issued. So this is what they need to get. They need to get that EPS license. So all the red tape, got to get through it. Got to just get off it. Get through that red tape. So that's what they want now. They want a dormouse mitigation strategy. What are you going to do with the dormice? Where are you going to do? What are you going to do with them? You got to be nice to them and move them. If you're going to build on their homes, you have to change that. You have to give them a new home. You have to rehouse them. Now, this is interesting. We got this construction management plan. Now, these days, you know, it's not what you want to build. It's how you're going to build it. You know, where are the lorries going in? What are the hours of operation? All of this kind of stuff. You know, where's everything going to be while you're building it? Do you have enough space and all that kind of stuff? Are you going to have to use the street outside to close down some roads to do stuff? So we have the actual, this is what they're telling us what they're going to do. And in fact, I believe in this, they tell us the date that it's going to start. So yeah, condition 7, yada, yada, yada. The site, where it is, we know where it is. There it is. Hey, that's close to Brands Hatch. Yep. And there's a golf course over there. The report, etc. Yep. There you go. You've seen that. And these are the laws that they have to follow. Yeah. Local access. Now this is funny. They want the people that are working on the site, as in the builders and whatnot, they want them to travel by public fucking transport into a place in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere. This is a countryside. There's like barely any buses, and they finish like the bus goes from like 9 to 2, so it's unusable for anyone doing any normal job. The buses exist purely for old people to go to the shops and come back. That's it. Or maybe school kids to go to school and come back. That's it. The public transport is not for the working man. These are the footpaths, which there's one going through the golf course, so yeah, be careful. Don't get hit on the head with a golf ball. There's no cycle routes. They want them to cycle to work. They want the builders to cycle to work. These people are mad. They're absolutely raving mad. Oh my god. Yeah, look, this is the bus stop, look. Hourly, so 1 an hour, 9 to 2. If you miss it, you'll be pissed off when you got to wait 59 minutes for the next one. The nearest railway station to the site is Ironsford, which is correct. It's correct, because in the planning permission 2 years ago, they said it was Longfield. No way is it Longfield. It's fucking Ironsford. 100% it's Ironsford. 100%. It's 3 miles from the site. This station is on the Thames Link and provides 4 services now between Sevenoaks and London Blackfriars. And here's an interesting thing. That train, that stops at Ravensbourne, which is the closest train station to Mill's current training ground of Calmont Road. Did you know that? Did you know that? Swanley Railway Station is approximately 10 kilometres from the site, equivalent to a 13-minute journey via the proposed shuttle bus service. So this is the thing. So it looks like they're going to be doing a shuttle from Swanley, which is interesting. That's a good idea. Because Swanley is on the fast route. I believe, for some reason, they've got fast trains. They come out of Victoria. So it goes Victoria. I think it's Victoria. They stop at Denmark Hill for some reason. I have no idea why they do that. And then they go to Bromley South. Before, they used to just go to Bromley South. So they would go from Victoria to Bromley South. And then they would stop Swanley, Farnham and whatever, all that fucking jazz. But they would, so to have a shuttle bus from Swanley makes a lot of sense. Does make a lot of sense. Yep, all of this stuff, yeah, we know about that. So access to the site is just from the north via Scratcher's Lane, because there is a school to the south. There's a narrow road width on the southern section of the A20, and there is a St Edmund's Church of England primary school. So now here we go. Look at this. Look at this. 3.2. Look at this. Construction works are likely to commence in Q4 2025. Wow. But if you go back up to 3.1, it says the main works contractor has not been appointed at this stage, therefore specific details relating to the phasing and approximate timeline are unknown. Clarification of these details will be provided in a future version of CMP following the appointment of a main works contractor. Now Q4 2025 is October, November, December. We are 4 days away from September? So let's be generous and say they mean December. That's 4 months away. They don't have a contractor yet? 4 months from when they want to start doing stuff? Is that normal? Is that normal? That doesn't seem normal to me. Now, obviously, they don't even have planning permission yet, so maybe it is normal. Why would you appoint a contractor if you don't have the planning permission approved? You would probably have an agreement in place pending the planning permission being approved. But obviously, until that's approved, they're not your contractor because they won't exist. It won't go through until the planning permission is approved, which is annoying because you're sending in a form to get planning permission approved and you don't know who the contractor is because you're not going to appoint them until planning permission is approved. It just goes around and around and around in a circle. Site setup will be required at the beginning of the construction period to ready the site for development. The site setup will include the erection of necessary hoardings and scaffolding across the site. This will be undertaken by light vans and rigid vehicles. Now, here's interesting as well. Look at this. The fit out day is expected to take place in Q2 2027. So this is going to take a year and a half to build, maybe 2 years. Yikes. So 2027 in the future. Can you imagine? West Kingsdown training ground in 2 years' time. So any of those players there now who have 4 year, how long do you think the longest contract is? Probably 4 years now. But I think that's Ivanovic. He ain't going to be here for 4 years. No way. But some of these players, or maybe like, what are we looking at? Under 16s. So under 16 players there. Once they get through to the under, if they get through to the under 21s in 2027, they'll be training at West Kingsdown. This is for them. These are the work hours, of course. No working on Sundays. Jesus approves. The following activities, etc., etc. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. And this is the routing, as we've seen, from the M25 or the M20. You go down, you go through Farningham, down the A20, and then instead of, you got to turn off onto Scratcher's Lane, go down past Brown's Arch and onto the West Kingsdown site. Okay. And guess what? On the way out, you go the same way, just in reverse. Well, not reverse, but you drive forwards, but you go back the way you came. Yeah. Local construction vehicle routing plan. Alright. So there you go. Construction staff access. So yeah. Where possible, construction staff, except those delivering materials at the site, will be encouraged to use public transport. It is unclear at this stage whether there is to be staff parking provided at the site during the construction phase. This will be confirmed once a contractor has been appointed. Again, should really know about that, because where else are they going to park? There's no, they can't park on the road outside. They have to park in town. It's somewhere in West Kingsdown. And that's not going to be, how many people do you think are going to be working on that site? 20 to 30 to 40 at one time? I don't know. Congestion, yada yada yada. Yeah, etc. You see all this stuff, so you can see, how detailed this is, that what they're going to do, and the hoops that they have to jump through to get this passed. There's going to be a traffic marshal. There's going to be access gates, waste removal. Yeah, all of that stuff. Vehicle movement, service vans, 2-axle rigid lorries, 3-axle rigid lorries, 4-axle rigid lorries, multiple axle articulated lorries, and abnormal indivisible loads. Mobile cranes and large adapted articulated lorry combinations. And here we go. So this is, the schedule of works. Should the planning be moved, pre-approved. Site setup and demolition, as mentioned, Q4 2025. Below ground works, as foundation stuff, Q1 2026. Substructure, same. And then superstructure, that's the building, Q3 2026. And cladding, Q4 2026, Q1 2027. And final fit out works in Q2 2027. So yeah. The demand for peak month and number of goods vehicles at an average of over 5.5 days per working week. Oh, this should be fun. Recording all complaints made by local residents. Yikes. Yeah. They're not going to be happy with this, are they? The data collected will be reported with full transparency to SDP. The final CMP would set out how a group with an invitation to all the aforementioned parties would be convened in the unlikely event that workforce travel patterns are materially worse than those assumed in the assessment. Yikes. Yikes, man. Now this is interesting. To the east of the site, it borders the M20. There's going to be cranes on the site. You cannot have the cranes have any risk whatsoever, whether it's high winds or just negligence, of falling onto the M20. That would be absolutely disastrous. You cannot do that. So any crane will be positioned with the site boundary to eliminate the risk of load oversailing the M20. Detailed lift plans, engagement with national highways. No oversailing of the M20 will occur without formal agreement for national highways, and none is anticipated. Yeah, they're not going to put loads over the road. That's just, you do not do that. Digital exclusion zones will be programmed into crane control systems to prevent slewing towards the M20. Anti-collision technology will be employed to monitor and restrict crane movement near sensitive boundaries such as the M20. Yeah, so, do not get that crane anywhere near the M20. That would be an absolute disaster if anything were to happen. Then they're talking more like, obviously they have to wash the tyres of the lorries and stuff like that to stop mud from going around everywhere. And here we go. We've seen this before. This is a proposed layout. This is what they want to do. We've seen all this. I've shown you this before. And they've done this as well. Where is it? Was it going to come up? Did we miss it? I don't think it loaded. It didn't load, no? Ah, here we go. It's still loading. So they did a swept path analysis. As in, the lorry comes in, where can it turn around? No, where it comes in here, it has to keep driving, go all the way down, and then it can turn around once it gets inside. And again here, and here and here. So they've got different entrances, it looks like, for different vehicles, or are these different options? I don't know. I think this is the original. No, these two. This is where the current entrance is, and I believe that this is where they want the new entrance to be. This is where it's going to be once it's built, but obviously they're going to be in the process of building it. So, there you go. And you see, this is where these types of lorries can come in, and then turn around and go back out again. So they've done all that stuff. Now, they've also done... basically, what was this called again? Softscape. It's a softscape plan. Basically, it's the plan of what they're going to do with all of the greenery, like what plants and stuff they're going to put in. And it's so you can see each one is labelled of what it is. So they're going to put all these plants in. They know what plants it is. They've got a list of them. And I'll go through the map first. And then we'll get into... You can see here, look, this is the list here. It says here, scrub mix. It's been planned down to the plant. Each individual plant of what is going to be around there. They know what it is going to be. Look how big it is, though. Look, they've got so many plants. So many plants. So whoever gets the contract for giving them plants... And that's money there. That's how much it's costing. Look how much money they have to spend on plants. And here we go again. This is they've had to break it up into 5 different pictures because there's so much detail in each one. And here we go. This is a list of all the plants that they're buying and they're going to be putting in. How many? Look, what's that? 141. Acer campestre. Girth, hello. Alnus glutinosa. Populus tremula. Taxus baccata. Hey, Prunus spinosa. Lovely girl, Prunus, lovely girl. Asta divercitus. These are all the plants that they're going to be putting in. Hundreds of plants. Hundreds. Trees, shrubs, herbaceous, climbers, wildflowers, ferns, aquatics, grasses, Deschampia cespitosa. So which grass are they going to use for the pictures then? Is it this one here? Calamagrotis acutiflora. Carl Forster. Is it that one? No, that's in a pot. I don't think it's that one. Maybe it's this one. Deschampisa caespitosa. Maybe it's that. Don't know. Oh no, I think it's this one. Purple haze. Sounds like a weed, doesn't it? Purple haze. EM1 basic general purpose. And that looks like the main one for the football pitches. So if you ever want to know what they use for their football pitches, it's EM1 basic general purpose, and that's coming from Mooresgate. That's the supplier. Hey, so yeah, this is what they're doing down there. Look, the report, the plan, all of the plans that they're pushing through now. It's picking up steam. This new training ground, though, it's getting there. And then we've got this one as well, securing the site. Basically, security, hoardings and, making sure the kids and people don't get on there. Obviously, I imagine the local kids are going to love this. It's going to be a thing, especially when they're not going to be there on Saturdays or Sundays. Well, they're going to be there some Saturdays, but not all Saturdays. So on the weekends, the kids are going to be going over there, especially with the footpath that goes from town to right there, and they're going to be looking and saying, "Oh, what's going on so far? Like, what are they up to?" Yeah, and you think, make sure they don't climb on there. It's basic stuff, you know. Got to comply with this health and safety rule, that health and safety rule. The vehicles. Workers on site will access the site through RFID-controlled turnstiles adjacent to the vehicle entrance, enabling secure entry. Monitoring solutions may include facial recognition or check-ins via construction site apps, depending on contractor preference. So they need to make sure that they know who's on there. I guess some random people don't walk in. Do random people normally walk in there? Strictly limited to authorised personnel, presence of banksmen, etc., etc. ID checks, gate monitoring, and patrol duties. All visitors need to enter via the main gate, report to site management, sign in, sign out, induction, PPE, including hard hats and visibility vests. The mobile plant equipment will be locked up, and the keys will be stored on site. Cool. It goes on and on and on. CCTV surveillance. Is it going to be night vision though? Is it going to be night vision? Is it going to be like Spring Watch? I don't know. Motion sensors will trigger alerts to off-site security staff in response to perimeter breaches or irregular activity. Surveillance systems will integrate with lighting and access controls with ANPR systems deployed to track vehicle entry. That sounds a recipe for disaster. Motion sensors. So a fox is going to get onto the site, is going to trigger the motion sensors, and then the security are going to drive down there, and they're going to turn up, and they're not going to see anything, and they're going to do this a couple of times, and then it'll happen again, and I think, fuck it, nothing happens. And then they're going to take their time and not even bother turning up, and then that's going to be the time when, you know, things get stolen or whatnot, you know. Lighting will be installed, etc., etc. Safety measures, signage. They're going to put signage, you know, danger, construction site. Fire extinguishers every 25 metres. A bit overkill, innit? First aid kits in the welfare areas. One trained first aider every shift, etc., etc. Safety helmets, high visibility, steel toe, midsole protected boots, cut resistant gloves, safety glasses or face shields, hearing protection and respiratory protection, which is a big thing now. Big thing they're using the kitchen counter. Is it silica stone? People working on that, they're getting that in their lungs. That's apparently worse than asbestos. People are dying within a couple of years. And no, it's not really that well known. It's madness. Welfare cabins with clean drinking water, washing facilities and rest areas. Where's the nearest shop though? The nearest shop is like way in town. I think it's probably must be like a 20-minute walk. It's not that far. I think there's only one shop in town. So we'll see. Maybe they should put like a vending machine there. I don't know. Dust and noise considerations. Water suppression, yeah. Hall rules, yeah. Compacted, so it's not dry dust. Mulching of topsoil, temporary windbreak fencing. Low noise plant will be prioritised for operations nearest Falcon Road and the closest homes in West Kingsdown, approximately 600 metres to the west. Temporary acoustic barriers and earth bunds can be erected at the Howland line facing Falcon Road to screen high noise activities. Machinery operating hours will be restricted to 9 to 4, but the site is open from 7:30 to I think 5. And now here's the thing, real-time PM monitors and mobile decibel meters will be installed at the hoarding line adjacent to Falcon Road and at the nearest residential facades in West Kingsdown. So I assume it's on some lamppost or something. Automated alerts will flag any exceedance of agreed thresholds, and daily visual inspections will be logged by site staff. So they can't make too much noise, because it'll set the alarms off, and they'll go, "Oh, you made too much noise." Waste management and stuff like that. Protection of local wildlife. Vegetation clearance will only take place outside nesting season. So again, this is another reason to start it in Q4, in the winter. 10 metre buffer zone with safeguard mature hedgerows along Falcon Road with root protection, fencing, protecting and preventing accidental encroachment. Bird and bat boxes will be installed on mature trees within the site and on the hoarding panels facing West Kingsdown to compensate for any temporary loss of habitat. These points may have been identified with previous ecological reports. Yep, going down. Cool. Same old, but you can see how much effort and time has to go into this. What's this? Okay. Inspections, and that's going to be submitted to the Seven Oaks Council, Kent Council, and the West Kingsdown Parish Council. Oish. Oh, monitoring reports. Yeah, monitoring reports. Is that pollution, yeah? And again, we've got the proposed layout that we've seen before, and we've just seen again. Does look impressive, does it not? Does it not look impressive? Risk register and assessment. Is it going to load? Is it still loading? Yeah, it's still loading. Okay. So yeah, to be honest, like, they could have done this. Like, this is more informative than all of the nonsense that they just said, and it's more concise. Some monthly review, incident triggered review, version control. So there you go. I mean, like I said, it's going guns are blazing. They're really getting on it now. They're trying to start in Q4 2025. I'm not sure how many conditions. I probably can go back and find out how many conditions they have to meet. There's 13 there, so we'll see how we do. But yeah, there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Have you heard about Purple Aki? Purple Aki? Yeah, Purple Aki's died. He died, lad. Yeah, how did he die? He choked on some chicken. Chicken? Yeah, lad, chicken. Stop it. Stop it. Talk in your normal voice. Stop doing the voices. If you don't just talk in your normal voice, I'm going to stop watching. I'm not going crazy. I'm just having fun. Bye, everybody.